Hi everybody, hey, it's Craig Freshley here. How do you measure success? Success of a company? Success of a country? Typically, we look at a number, probably an economic number, like profit or gross domestic product. A couple weeks ago, a report was published called Measures of Growth, and this report defines success of the state of Maine using 29 different indicators. This is a report that I know something about. I was the lead researcher and author of the first 8 editions. Let's take a look. The report is published annually by the Maine Development Foundation, where I used to work. In the 90s, there was a growing awareness about sustainable development and the need to define success more broadly than just economic indicators. So this group came up initially with 57 different indicators in 7 different categories. And for each indicator, there's a chart as to where we have been, and there's a benchmark for where we want to be. In 1997, we went a little crazy and produced a 2-page newsletter every week. We mailed them to subscribers, and at the end of the year, we bound them up in this book. 52 weekly newsletters, probably Craig's first weekly. You might even call it a fad. There was this sense that whatever you measure gets managed. And so countries, states, communities were developing sets of indicators for all sorts of things, basically things that people wanted to improve in the future. Here in the state of Maine, the Maine Development Foundation, the same group that produced Measures of Growth, was commissioned to produce indicators of livable communities, indicators of Maine's transportation system, indicators of Maine's natural resource-based industries, indicators of the health of children and communities. Here's one just for a county, indicators of sustainable development, and even on a national level. The United States was working on an experimental set of indicators. I had the pleasure of working actually on this experimental set of indicators. I was called to Washington, D.C. This group was commissioned by President Clinton, who at the time also commissioned a President's Council on Sustainable Development. In the mid-90s, a genuine progress indicator was proposed, a composite index of 25 or so different things, a much better way to measure progress, the authors contended. While gross domestic product has continued to rise in the United States, genuine progress actually began to level off and decline in the early 70s. What all of these reports try to do is make the case that quality of life is about more than just a healthy economy. It also depends on healthy communities, social issues, and of course it depends on a healthy environment. And so we have indicators not just of economic health, but also community health and environmental health. This experimental set of indicators for the United States, same 3 categories: economic, environmental, social. The idea behind all of this is the notion that by calling out specific indicators, we can influence policy in such a way that influences those indicators, that moves those needles, that raises or lowers those graphs. This is a statement as to what is most important to the state of Maine, and as citizens, as policymakers, as businesses, it works well if we try to work on these issues. As you look back at the past year and look forward to the year ahead, either on your own behalf or thinking of a group that you're part of, consider how you would measure success, and you need not be limited to economic indicators. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope this helps your group make good decisions.